Hello, this is Katie. So I wanted to show you, I'll probably tell you in the title, how my card class people make the cards. So I do a lot of the pre die cutting or embossing or whatever, so that I don't have to bring a die cutter with me to class or anything like that. So I just want to show you, we actually made 4 cards today, and I have extra from class, so I wanted to make those 4 cards. So they are Valentines. I probably won't call this card number 4. I still want to make that embossed one with this stamp, but I haven't done that yet, and I wanted to do this. So the other thing, so I'll show you the 4 cards, but the other thing is that I have a giveaway for this set, the Lawn Fawn Octopi My Heart set, on my Instagram, which is Hook, Line, and Anchor, all one word. So if you want to go over there and see, you'll see just, I use like the Google image of it so it doesn't look like the stamp, but you'll see that there. So you can go over there and try and win that if you don't have this one yet. I couldn't find it like somewhere. I couldn't find it at my other local craft store, and then it was sold out online everywhere, and I finally found it at my other local craft store. So I grabbed 2 to do a giveaway. And then I just wanted to show this paper I found at when I found the stamps as well. It's from Amy Tangerine, called Oh Happy Life. I just thought it was really cute. There's a couple of them. I think there's one with flowers as well, but it's buried to the right of me, where it's black and white. So I kind of just got them for myself to kind of color them in. This is, I think there's like bagels and donuts and like a croissant, and so I was just using some of my Copics to do that. So I just thought that was kind of fun. So I kind of have everything laid out in front of me, so I'll start with the first card, and I'll show you the card before I start making it. So this was the sample. I always bring a sample to class, and then I think I measured odd because there's more space on the top and bottom than the sides, and I don't think I intended that at all. I think I wanted this width all the way around, but that's fine. So I'll show you how I did this one. I have the Happy Valentine's Day stamp, the long one from the Scripty Sayings Lawn Fawn set. I think they have 2 of them now to cover lots of holidays, and I think I got the newer one that has the Happy Valentines on it. So I'm going to stamp that first. So I pre-cut the cards and I pre-cornered that. I just have the EK Success Corner Punch. I just don't want to have to lug all that stuff to class out of the house, so I do a lot of the stuff beforehand. And then this piece here is actually a Stampin' Up! Sizzix embossing folder. And also I raised you guys up a little bit higher. I used a couple Stampin' Up! Stamp boxes, so hopefully I'm a little farther away and not so close. But this is a Stampin' Up! Folder, so it's an embossing folder that does the hearts like this, and then I just cut the row of 3. And you could have used, you know, either side. I think I like that one, or you can use the indented one. So I will put the adhesive on this side. We'll stick this down first, and then we can do our stamp. That will be fine. Set that there. So it's just going to be kind of up far enough to where I can still stamp the Valentine's Day. So stick that part down, and then I'll get my black ink. And you're not going to be using the whole stamp, so you don't really have to ink up the whole stamp, but you just want to make sure your Valentine's Day is centered there. And then I can clean off all these stamps later. And I have my Lawn Fawn chamois wipe as well. So then we did a ribbon around this piece before we stuck it down to this one. So just on the back, I just kind of marked where I would want the ribbon, and I run some tape runner on the back to kind of hold the ribbon in place. And I'll just use the same one. I brought a bag of some Valentine's type ribbon with me, as opposed to bringing my entire bucket of ribbon, which would have been kind of ridiculous. So I will give myself enough to tie a bow, and then this is a stamp I'm using for the next card, but I usually set something down so I can tie a bow. So we will cut that there. And then you can run some tape runner under. This one's a little see-through, so you might be able to see the adhesive. So if you can help it, just maybe not put adhesive on the front and tie it. And a trick I like to use to hold, kind of be a placeholder after that first knot, is tweezers. So you'll pinch your knot with that and then tie your bow, as opposed to like putting someone's finger in there. And then you can pull that out. Tie the bow, and then I'll shorten the bow by pulling on the strings, and then we can trim that off. Okay. So we have the bow there, and then to lift it up, we're going to put foam tape on the back, and I just got a new roll, so I have plenty of foam tape. And I just kind of, oops, that was probably not a good idea, kind of tear it, and instead of cutting it, it just takes a lot longer. And I just want to support most of the card. I don't need to cover it in the foam tape. And I won't put any over the ribbon. Usually if it's like, this ribbon's really thin, but if it's thicker ribbon, then it might create a bump that you don't want. So you just kind of dodge the ribbon and go around it. I'll put a piece there. Put one here to kind of hold that up, and then we'll do one more piece here and there. It's kind of sticky. Okay, so then we take the whole piece there, make sure we've got the front of our card not upside down, and then stick that one down. And like I said, the top and the bottom on this one, because I had pre-cut and apparently didn't look at it, are going to be a little wider, but that's fine. So there's the first card. The second one is this one right here. Get some of the garbage out of the way. The heart is from a little bag of felt heart stickers. That just happens to be my favorite one, but there are other choices as well, and everybody got to pick theirs. But I think I'll stick with this one here. And then I think some ink. My sample flows around class. I think somebody got some ink on that, but that's fine. It's bound to get something on it if it's being used as an example. So we'll piece that one together. It's very similar to the first one in that we're going to kind of build this and then put it up on foam tape and put it on the card. So I pre-cut and I embossed. I believe this is also a Stampin' Up! Folder. I'm not entirely sure, but I put it away already, of the little hearts. And then I did the corner punch as well. I think I corner punched and then I ran it through the embosser. So it's kind of a lot of work. I trimmed this and used my square punch to get the banner. I used a scallop die for that part, and I cut and corner punched these. So this is how they get all their pieces. And I kind of asked them, and they said they preferred that because honestly there is a lot more work involved. It would probably take a lot more time if this stuff wasn't done, or if I did bring my die cut machine and make them use it. Some people might like that, but most people kind of like just go to make cards and they like having it done for them. So you want to stick this on by matching it up with the bottom, and then I think I will stick my heart sticker down. This one is kind of tricky to get off without ruining the felt. My heart sticker down first before I place the silver part. So I'll just run some tape runner on the back of the silver and just place that down. And then this stamp, the Valentine Wishes stamp, is one that I picked up at Impress, my local store. So I will do that in black on the banner. Okay, clean that later. And then the banner is actually also lifted up. So we're going to use some foam tape on the back of the banner. About that much should be good. I went a little too far. Save those for later. Okay, so then that will just kind of be centered wherever you want it. I had some people not even use the silver strip and kind of put this up here or put the heart lower, and they did some different things. They always like kind of doing their own thing if they have a different vision, which is fine. So then we will lift the whole piece up on foam tape, and there's no ribbon in the way this time, so we'll just kind of make sure it's supported. That one was almost close. Okay, and we'll just do one more piece in there. Okay, so we'll take this whole piece here, make sure our front of our card, this one's a top opening card, make sure it's the front and center it. And then press that down, and there is your second card. So, let's see, hang on one sec. Okay, so then the third one, I think on this one I'm going to go without the ribbon. I'll show you what it looked like before I had stuck the ribbon on earlier today. But I left it as an option for people. We've got some vellum, so it kind of blurs what's on there and it looks kind of cool. So we will take these three pieces. We'll start with the white card, and I have a red card base in vellum. And then I will do red on this stamp here. I can't remember. I think these were a Hero Arts stamp set, but I can't really remember. It was either Hero Arts or Unity Stamp Company. I don't even know if it was Unity, if they're a company anymore. I used to get their kit, but I didn't like the stamps as much, so I think this is a Hero Arts set. So I will stamp that. I remember the upper right corner didn't want to quite stamp, so I have to press on that. So we are good there. And then I have a paper tray ink berry sorbet to match my paper. It doesn't look too much different than this red, but we'll use it anyway. These little inks are easy to kind of grab and press because of their shape. So we'll put this one over here, just like the sample. And then the sentiment, which is in my box somewhere, I hope. Let's see, maybe I already have it out. Oh, I put it away, that's why. Okay, so it's from this like dirty texting set. It's called Love Letters from Lawn Fawn. That's where the cell phone for the next card came from. But I used the Happy Valentine's Day from that set, and I think it just got put away in the process. So we will stamp that in black in that bottom right corner, and I will clean that later. Okay, and then we will stick this piece down to the red card. Make sure we're opening on the right side. So you just want to center. This one I think is 1/8 of an inch all around, and I actually measured it right. And then what I did for the vellum pieces, I just ran adhesive along the very edge of the white. In case you can't see that, I don't know if it's shiny. There we go. and then just stuck the vellum to it. And when I did it, I was surprised that I actually couldn't really see the adhesive through the vellum, and I should have left it at that. So I think this one I'll just leave it. So it kind of flaps open, but it still sticks. And I like it without the ribbon as well, so I think I'll leave that one there. And then you can see through. And then the last card is this one. This stamp came from Impress, the local craft store. So what I did is I stamped the bear on the card. I stamped him again to get his arms. Those are lifted up on foam, as well as the little phone. And then I have the Bear Hugs to You stamp. So on the card base, we will do the bear. Just want to make sure he's all inked up. So we'll stamp him kind of in the middle. Oops, I think he got some ink in his chest, but that looks fine. It looks like little chest fur. Then we'll take his arms and stamp. Just the arms really is all we need. So then you take scissors and cut out just his arms. So this is kind of a trick. If you have any, or a technique I should say, if you have any like person or animal that's got arms out in front of them, I have like the Santa from Mama Elephant as well, or the Mrs. Claus, where they can like be holding a list or something. This is kind of how you do that. You stamp them down, and then you stamp their arms again and cut those out so we can kind of stick them on top to match. So I'm just going to cut around all the parts that would be his arm, and I can cut off the little claws because those, I think those might show anyway since they're already stamped. So just kind of follow the line. Okay. So we have the arms, and then we have the cell phone. I also need that separate piece to stamp the phone. And then in this set there's like little text, so there's like a happy face or a hi. I did the two hearts in red. So I will stamp, let's see, I think I'll just take the phone off and use this one. So we'll stamp the first one, put the black ink back on, and get the red ink, stamp a heart, take that one off, I can clean that later. Pick up the other one, stamp the other heart, so then you have the two texts going. So then we'll cut this one out, and you could definitely color in the phone. I actually didn't even think to color it, but it could be like a white iPhone. It kind of looks like an iPhone anyway because it's got the circle button. So we will just leave it as it is. Okay, so now we've got his arms and the phone. So what we want to do is use some foam tape for the phone, and we're going to stick that down first and then kind of put his arms over it. So he'll be holding the phone there. And then basically we're putting foam tape in this area of his arms. You can put it directly onto the card if that works. Maybe we'll do that. That might help a little bit, so you can, instead of trying to figure out where to put the foam tape on the arm piece, you can put it on directly on the card itself. So I'll just shorten that one. I think maybe a little skinnier and shorter. Okay, so I'll zoom in a little bit here so you can see. So then I'll take those off so they're sticky and ready to go. This is his first arm, so we'll kind of match that up with the edge and then stick that down. And then match this one up and stick that down. So it still lines up with him, and then it looks like he's holding the little phone there. So hopefully that made sense. And you have a stamp with somebody with arms or looks like they're holding something you could use. And then we will stamp the Bear Hugs to You sentiment right below him. Okay, and then that is the fourth card. I will zoom out a little bit. So we made this one, and it definitely goes a lot faster when all the pieces are ready for you. But we made all of those. So I'll probably call this something else, but we'll still have a Valentine's card number 4. And I think that is it. Thank you for watching. Bye.